and bring the volume down. All right, let's see. Okay, it looks like we are there. Right, well, let's go back to the Zoom. Hello and good morning, everybody. Hope that you are having a fantastic Monday. It is already October 3rd. All of a sudden it was the first, and now, the time goes by so quickly. And I just want to thank everybody for continuing to tune in to the International Women in Business Mastermind conversations that we have been having now twice a month here at the Empowerment Empire. I am your host, VihilH.Vigil, women's empowerment business coach, founder and creator and CEO of the Empowerment Empire. And I am so blessed and so thankful to have such an amazing guest here today with you, coming to us live from Florida. So if we have a little loss of or a little glitch in our video, please give us some grace, and we will try to get back online as soon as we can. But what I want to do is just welcome everybody this morning, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend that, really infused you with some wonderful rest, and that you are back on top of the world today and moving forward in your businesses and in your personal and professional development. And with that, we are bringing to you an amazing woman that I would like to now introduce. So we have relationship coach, let me get your information here, Jessica Ruiz. And for the past 15 years, Jessica has helped many women love themselves first. We oftentimes talk about that in the Empowerment Empire, about you have to take care of number one. And if you're not taking care of yourself first, how can you expect to be able to take care of others? By specializing in helping Latina single women find true love and confidence through identifying and achieving their personal and professional goals, by coping with the issues that are causing them stress and distress. Jessica holds a master's degree in social work and has been the lead therapist at a private practice for 5 years. She enjoys working with adults, couples, children, families, adolescents, and the elderly. Taking great pride in the progress and success of her clients, she is currently accepting new clients on her calendar, so make sure that you take a look, and I will definitely post her information here. When Jessica is not coaching, she is getting her suitcase ready, and I love this, and her plane tickets purchased because she loves to travel. She's been to Macchu Picchu, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. She has traveled to Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Cancun. Her goal is to travel to France, Spain, and Italy, hopefully as soon as possible. I'm with you on that one as well. I definitely, my daughter wants to go to Italy, and I want to go to France and Spain, so maybe we'll see you there. And to keep her energy high, you will often find her listening to music. Jessica loves music, especially salsa, merengue, bachata, freestyle, hip hop, and R&B. Whoop, whoop, all
Yep, exactly.
fantastic. Jessica Ruiz is a Peruvian American. She is bilingual in Spanish, and note she is a proud Latina woman. You can find her on on the Facebook at Latina Relationship Coach. I will post her website and her Instagram. Her website is also latinarelationshipcoach.com. And I want to thank you so very much for joining us this morning, Jessica. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm glad to be here. I'm very excited and everything. So yeah, like you were saying, if there's any glitches, sorry. We just had like our storm and hurricane. Thank God everything went well from my part. So, but I'm just glad to be here.
I'm so glad that you were able to still join us. Tell me, how did you get into being a relationship coach?
Okay. So for me, I mean, I believe in love. Like I tell people, I was born in the month of love because my birthday is February 11th. I believe like love overcomes obstacles. I'm the hopeless romantic. Like I love like sending cards and all of those things, or saying those beautiful things, or dedicating songs, and just helping people. And I know what it is to be single, what it is to be Latina, going through dating apps, all of those things. So even like talking about like what I've been through, to help anyone that I can, especially Latinas.
Share with us a little bit about your story. Who
Okay,
is
so
Ruiz?
okay, so as far as my story, like what's been introduced, yes, I am a social worker, mental health therapist. I'm also a business owner. I love to travel. So as far as helping, I love helping people. Like even if it's just, and it doesn't even have to be in relationships. It could be something else like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this or this career or social work. I'm like, oh, okay, tell me about that. Things like that. That's always been, and like people come to me. I don't know. I think
Just
maybe I have.
naturally.
Yes, exactly. Like they just want me to like for me to listen. I'm also a good listener. So yeah, naturally they just come to me and they talk to me about their things or what's going on. So I've always had that of helping people. But definitely is that passion with Latinas because I'm also Latina. I mean, I know what it is as far as with dating, as far as, machismo, all of those things that you go
Yeah.
through, the confidence in yourself. Some people have gone through like where they're trying to heal from relationships, like past relationships.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard. It's not easy.
Uh, I can certainly attest to that. Especially with being busy entrepreneurs. In our conversations going back and forth about how we would feature you today and what you would share with us, I was really interested in learning more about how you recommend to your clients to finding that balance and finding that great relationship when we are such busy entrepreneurs. Can you touch on that for us?
So with that, yes. I mean, it's also making time. Yes, I know you are busy because I'm also busy too. So that's why I could relate to that. Like it's making time. I know people always say that you make time. Even if it's like, okay, like let's say you started, and this is, I just started doing that too with a dating app because it does take time. So it's like, okay, do you like the person? You start talking to them, things like that. But again, it is making time. Like for everything, you do need to make time. And as far as balance, yes, I know that's hard to like the work life, career, job, love, relationships, dating, family, all of that. It does take time. So, but you also have to think about yourself too and making time for you. Because if you don't, and if your like cup runs on empty, how are you going to help others? So
Right.
sometimes we forget about ourselves, and that's something that it's like the self-care like we always talk about. And also it's important to have boundaries. I know it's hard because there's people like you do set the boundaries and they don't respect those boundaries, and it's like, okay, well, I let you know that these are the boundaries I have. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to either silence my phone, and well, they could get mad, they might not like it, but you gotta think about you too. I mean, yes, you're a helper, yes, and as a woman, yes, we're like, we multitask or we do different things, we have different roles.
Mm.
But again, we also need to think about ourselves, and it is not selfish to think about yourself, because sometimes people might say that, oh, you know it's selfish, and it isn't. So it's like what I was saying with boundaries, even with that, even with family, sometimes like with family, okay, you may be seeing them less or be like, okay, it's up to you how you decide what's better for you, what you feel that it's a good decision, whether it's seeing them less or not seeing them at all. Because then that doesn't help you if you have that negative energy or that toxic energy with family. I know it's hard because again, we're Latinas, close family, all those
Can't
things.
make excuse for it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But again, if not, then how are you going to do work for you? How are you going to help yourself? So yeah, even that with setting boundaries with that with family. Now, let's say if it's like at work, or even if you're working for yourself, like, okay, yeah, you do like your schedule, but you also need to make time to take also your lunch break, take time for you too. Because if not, what's going to happen, you're going to get overwhelmed, stressed, you could even get a nervous breakdown, and we don't want that. You want to keep on, we want to move forward. Yes, I know we have our goals that we need to meet, but I always say it's like going forward, moving forward, even if it's like at a slow pace, at your own pace. It's not like a competition. Sometimes we think or we compare ourselves to other people. And it's like, oh, but they're doing more. No, but what if something happens to you? Then you're not going to be doing anything. So even with that, like with either your job or career, your business, and I know it's hard because there's people that do work full time and do their business part time. And I'm one of those too. So I could relate to that. And it's like, okay, you might think, how can I have time for all of these things? It's also time management. Like I believe in blocking your time. Like, okay, at 9 I have this, at 10 I have this, things like that. And it's like, okay, if you do have a break, okay, this I could do, put this here, and just managing your time the best as possible, but with putting time in for you, like whether it's a break, whether it's vacation, whether it's like, okay, the weekends, maybe one weekend, one day, Saturday, I go out, Sunday, no, half of a Saturday, I'll go out, and then the other half doing the things for my business. Again, it depends on what is easier for you when it comes to that, whether your job, your career, your business. And you get more comfortable once you practice that. Yes, I'm not saying, oh, you're not going to get overwhelmed. No, you do. But then it's like, okay, I know now maybe I have to do a little bit less, because I'm getting overwhelmed. And because once you get overwhelmed, then you're going to feel like, oh, I don't want to do anything.
Right.
So it's like, okay, and when the body tells you to rest, definitely rest. Like whether it's taking a nap, because sometimes we don't listen to that either. And it's like, it's worse because you're not taking your break. Because once you take a break and you rest, you do feel that energy. Okay, now I could continue. Or sometimes things happens with technology, like, okay, and you're like, you get frustrated, but it's like, okay, let me let it go for now. And then I go back to it. And then for some reason it gets resolved and you're like, okay. But things like that do happen with life too. So again, it isn't easy. I'm not saying it is, but with practice and you doing it, you'll get used to it, you know? So that's with work, life, like I was saying, dating. With that, yes, I know for some people they say, oh, it's like having another job. I'm like, okay, well, it depends on how you see it. Like I try to see it like it could be fun and things like that. And like I've done the dating apps before, so now I know more. Like I'm,
that experience.
because I've done it before. So yes, exactly like that. I've had that experience. So it's like I learned from that. So it's like, okay, this time around, it'll be better. And it's also like your mindset, like how you see it. Like I try to make it as like, okay, I'm getting to know someone. Yeah, you might feel, oh, I'm starting all over again because things might not have worked in your previous relationship. And you're like, okay. But again, if that's something that you want to do, you do make time, like for anything that you want to do, you make time for it. Yes, I know you might feel like, oh, okay, here I go again, dating, but it's trying to make it fun. Yes, you might get nervous because yeah, on a first date, you don't know the person, what's going to happen, things like that. But it's also enjoying yourself. Like, okay, we'll see what happens, and if it doesn't, then okay, you'll date someone else. And if it does work, well, you keep on dating. I mean, that you do have a choice. You do have choices here. So yeah, but if you don't put yourself out there, how are you going to know? So I know that's hard too, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, trusting, all those things because of what you've been through in the past. And it might trigger you, but it's also good to have that once you know the person and you're like, okay, that communication with the person, letting them know, look, this that you did kind of triggered me, or like I'm going through this and that's why, or give me time, be patient with me. Because some guys are like, they're like quick and it's like, whoa, okay. So it's like, okay, if you want this to work and if you want things to continue, you need to give me time too,
Right. Allowing
um,
yourself that sort of grace and that, like, putting yourself in that position where you feel empowered to remind people that there are two people going through this experience, that it has to be at a pace that works well for both of you. I like to remind, like, I'm thinking about, as entrepreneurs, we regularly meet with people who are potential customers or potential colleagues or partners that we're going into a new venture with. So we should be really great at dating, right?
I
Because
mean, but it's a different type of networking. It's totally different when you're
yeah,
like networking for work and business.
yeah,
Like sometimes they say, okay, maybe it's because you have that masculinity, you know, and it's like, okay, so where is your feminine side? Like you're used to being like the leader, the boss, and it's like, okay, well, you also need to show your feminine side. And sometimes it might be hard for you because you feel like, oh, if I show my feminine side, that means I'm weak. And it's not that you're weak, it's just that, again, you know it's, I mean, we could still be strong and still show our vulnerability. It's
there's
hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm
that
not saying,
femininity,
okay,
right?
yeah, I mean, because I mean, I'm not saying you're just gonna open up just like that, because no, you got to get to know the person too.
Right.
And if you, and also like following your instincts, like if your gut is telling you something, it's because of something.
I
You might not
oftentimes,
know why. Later on you'll
yeah,
find out.
let's like give yourself that opportunity to listen to your gut. I like that you brought that up. Like give yourself the opportunity to lean a little on your emotions. And I know for us entrepreneurs, we are always on, like we're critical thinkers. Most of us are type A personality, boss type women. And it's we have to almost remind ourselves to sort of bring it down a notch when we are in when we're trying to open up and be more emotionally vulnerable, for example, to someone, that it's not about selling a product or selling a service. It's really about just opening up and letting someone get to know who you are as a person. See if there's more that passionate match, and what all goes into that. I can imagine that the work that you do with your clients sort of really ranges on people who are ready for like a serious relationship right now, like let's go, let's do this, I'm tired of waiting. And then others who are like, well, it would be nice to date someone on occasion. How do you help your clients really find out what's going to best fit for them? How do you help them figure that out for themselves?
So with that, first I always tell them, be yourself, be you, be real. Don't
Yeah.
try to like make believe you're someone else, because then it's not gonna work. And if the person does not like you for the way you are, or if they try to change you, or like even looking at those red flags, because there are red flags there, is,
Mhm.
be on that alert. Okay, so with that, it just depends on how everyone is. Like if you're the type that, okay, yeah, you're ready for having a serious relationship. Okay, what are you doing for that? Like, are you going on dating apps? Are you dating? Are you willing to, like a friend, hooking you up with someone, going on a blind date again? Because we might want something, but what is the action that we're doing to reach that goal?
Yeah,
You
how do we
know?
prepare ourselves for those awkward moments of trying to figure out if a dating situation is going to work for us?
So with that, I mean, see, well, first, let's see how it goes on the first date. Like
Yeah.
on the first date, and put into mind that the first day you're nervous. So you might not feel those sparks or things like that, because both of you are nervous. I mean, this is the first time you're meeting
Yeah.
each other. Yes, you've talked to each other, but it's not the same when you meet in person. And let's say, okay, things do go well, then you go on a second date, or you feel like I wasn't sure, give it another chance, because maybe it was nerves, maybe it was just that you meet them on the first date, and that does happen. But again, you have to see if you feel comfortable with that person. Now if you feel like no, it's because you don't feel comfortable, then I would say no. Then just try again with someone else. Yes, I know, again, that trying again, it's hard, because it's like, okay, you already want to be in that relationship, you
Mhm.
want to have that, but at the same time, it takes time to build a relationship also.
Right.
So yeah, and I get that, because I could be impatient too. So for those that are impatient, I understand. I'm still learning to be more patient too. And that's with anything. So yeah, because it's like, okay, or you might think, oh, I'm a certain age, and it's like, okay, and if you do want to have kids or something like that, okay, my biological clock and things like that. But again, I mean, I've noticed, like the first time I went on a dating app, or like when I went like a few years ago, it's different than now, I don't know if it's because of the experience or yeah, at first when I thought of, oh, I gotta go back again to a dating app and things like that, I was like, should I not? But I was like, you know what? Let me try and see how it goes now. It could
Yeah.
be different because now it's not like with that, oh, okay, my bio has to be like this or this, it was like, okay, let me see how it is, how it goes. It's a different vibe, I think it is, like than
Yeah.
the first time. Like, okay, now I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. If not, I'll find another way, whether it be meeting through friends, whether it be meeting through family, because you'll always have someone that's going to try to like, oh, okay, I think so and so might be good for you, or maybe he likes you, or try to, there's always someone that's going to try to like set you up with someone. You
We
always
have
have
those
like that aunt.
matchmakers in our family, huh?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do have those matchmakers where they're like, okay, oh, try to introduce you to someone. So there's different ways. So it just depends which one you feel is better for you, which one makes you feel more comfortable. And also being honest with the person. So whether it be you want something long term or if you just want something casual, friends. I mean, it's being honest with that person so they can know. And sometimes that could happen too, where you meet someone, they thought they want a long-term relationship, but then they realized, and you've been talking to them for a month, but at least they were honest and they realized, oh no, I just wanted something casual. Yes, of course, you're like, okay, here I go again, starting all over. But the good part, yes, they were honest with you. They realized themselves, okay,
Yeah.
this is not what I wanted.
How about also with with so almost pre-gaming, like pre-game planning in your own mind for yourself. Like if, know what it is that you want going into this situation. If you're going to put yourself out there onto the dating circuit, you're looking for different types of relationships, really understand what is it that you do want in a relationship. For us, like, do you want a casual relationship where you and define casual for yourself? Does that mean that you want to go on a date with this person once a week? Do you want to see them once every other week? If you're looking for a serious relationship, are you willing to say that? And what does that look like for you? And I think that especially as entrepreneurs and then also as Latina women, we are so used to trying to find the balance between really going for what we want and being very open and clear about our intentions and our wants. But then when we get into a situation where we have to bring in our emotions, sometimes I know for myself, speaking from experience, I will quickly shut that door when I start thinking, I might become vulnerable to this person. Do I really want to open that door? Is it going to affect my life for me as a single mom, as a business owner with a very complex schedule? And so I think maybe as we go into this, if you are listening to the program and you're having, thoughts as I am in this conversation with Jessica about, what it would look like if you were to enter into a new relationship, or maybe even to explore even on a deeper level your current relationship. What is it that you really want out of this partnership? Is it that you want a couch buddy every night, or do you want an explorer, next to you that's going to want to go with you to, go climb Machu Picchu? Or do you want to, have someone who would prefer to sit on the couch and watch movies all the time and not go explore Machu Picchu? Like really don't be afraid to define what it is that you yourself want in a relationship. And what I like to do, so as a business coach, as someone who works with women and defining how they want to succeed in their professional lives and in their business lives, we write down their wants. And I think especially in this situation, in this conversation, if you're wanting to enhance and explore your current relationship or build a new relationship, don't be afraid to write down what you want, right? Like make a list, literally write it down. This is what I define as a casual relationship for myself. This is what I would like to see long term. And so that when we're going into it, we know what we want for ourselves, and we can clearly state that. Now, no, I don't know. What is your recommendation, Jessica? Do we go in and just say, this is what I'm looking for? If you're not looking for this, then there's the door. Or what do you recommend as the
I mean,
relationship guru here?
Okay, so with that, yes, I do believe in writing things down. Like I love to journal. I've been journaling since the
Same.
fourth grade. That's my
Yeah.
way of expressing myself when I'm mad, when I'm sad, when I'm happy, good and bad. It helps me to also like making decisions. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what should I do here? And I'm used to like writing things down. That's my way of expressing myself. Others could be through arts and crafts, singing, dancing. Everyone's different. So with the what you were asking, yeah, I mean, let's say again, it's not gonna be perfect because it's no one's perfect, but it's like, okay, what are you willing to give up or sacrifice, or are you not willing? Because and that I've been through too, because like in a previous relationship I had, like I wanted to get married, I wanted kids. He didn't want that. So that's a decision I had to make as far as, okay, do I want to continue and knowing that whether we'll just live together, and will I regret that decision,
Mhm.
and will that come up in our relationship, or I sacrifice this for you, or am I okay with continuing to move forward knowing that I'm not going to get that? So that's a decision where you have to decide, okay, are you going this way or do you choose this? Yes, if you do choose to like, no, I cannot be in a situation like that because I do want to get married. I do want to have kids. It's going to hurt, but you know that that's what you want. Like that's something you don't have like to say I'm going to compromise or sacrifice,
Right. 'Cause
because it's also
it's not,
both.
right? Yeah, it's not a well, it's not a sacrifice if it's something that you know that you want for yourself. I'll share a little bit of, my life personally is that I was in a relationship and my partner at the time was clearly not ready for children and I was. And so what I ended up doing is I ended that relationship and I had a child of my own. Because I was ready to be a mom and I was ready for that next phase in my life. But the partner that I was with at the time was not. And so my path was, okay, am I willing to give up this new dream that I feel like I have of being a mother, of having a child, for this person, or am I not? And my decision ultimately was that no, I would end this relationship and I would have a child on my own because I was like, well, if I can't find a relationship that is good enough or that is ready for starting a family like I am right now, then there are lots of ways to have children, and I can certainly find one that doesn't have to include someone not ready for children. And I couldn't have been happier with my decision. I have a beautiful 9-year old who's now in fourth grade, and so it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. But it was hard, to decide this very big life decision to leave a relationship and have a child on my own because I was I wasn't willing to compromise any longer because I think that I had compromised myself for so long for my relationships that when I finally decided this is what I want and I'm going to stand in my truth and stand in my power and claim what I want and I'm going to make it happen because the partners that I was, connecting with were just not on that same page. I think that for those of us who are, type A personality women, we're business professionals, we're multifaceted, we are entrepreneurs, especially in our Latina entrepreneurs Facebook group here where we're live streaming currently. There's so many of us have so many different levels to us that we want to explore in our lives. And we need a partner who is willing to be supportive of that and not want us to just stop doing what we're doing but to find a way to balance them in. I know that can be really challenging for people, especially for entrepreneurs.
No, and that's true. I mean, that's why it's important to have that communication too, because I mean, I know like I was saying, like I've been through relationships and there was like one that was like, oh, you could stay home and not work. And I'm like, no, I'm used to being independent. I'm used to working. I'm used to, yeah, that I know there's no compromise on that. Like for me to say, oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with those that are stay at home because I know there's a lot that you do more when you do stay home and
Yeah.
there's a lot of that. But I know for me, I would need to do both.
Yeah.
I can't just one. But again, that's why it's also important in a relationship to have that communication. And like I say, in a relationship, it's also two people.
Right.
So it's like you both, supporting each other. You're both being there for each other, listening to each other. And yeah, and that's why once you need to be honest too, like, okay, is this what I want? Is this what you don't want? And then from there, making that decision. Yes, it'll be difficult. But again, you need to do also what's best for you. What is it that you want?
Thank you so much, Jessica. This has been a really great conversation. I haven't had a conversation about a relationship in quite some time, because you're right. We are so focused on, our professional lives. And when I talk to so many of my clients, I do a program called Power Planning, and it's where we plan out so many things. And what I always remind my clients to do is to make sure that you are time blocking in. I'm glad that you had mentioned that you are time blocking in time for yourself. Not only, during the day, I work with my clients to have them hyper focus for 45 minutes and then take a 15-minute break all day long during their workday so that they can really focus. But then when we're talking about opportunities to meet people, whether it's networking at a business event, whether it's, making sure that you're scheduling in time to go to your kids' things at schools, but also making sure schedule in a happy hour for yourself, schedule in an opportunity to, specifically go on a date or to have a date night with your current partner. Putting those things in the calendar really makes you focus on them, and it helps you find that balance when we live in such chaos. When we live in such a multifaceted world where we have things at all different, modalities pulling our attention, from, online programs to events to, YouTube and,
Social
scrolling
media, yeah.
scrolling Instagram, social media, going down the Pinterest wormholes, I mean, like, those things are great and they're really fun and they have their purpose, but make sure that you are creating opportunities for you to explore yourself and who you are as a person and who you want to be in a relationship, if that's something that you're looking for. And I think that just talking about this topic, I hope will really allow our audience to really explore those things for themselves. On our International Women in Business Mastermind, we so often really focus on the business, and I'm really glad that we were able to have you come on today and talk about this particular topic, because we deserve that balance in our lives. Yes, we want to be successful. Yes, we want to be great parents and have, very, well functioning families. But we are able to do that because we intentionally do so. We look at our calendars. That's why I carry an hourly calendar, like the ones that you will oftentimes see at a hair salon, that are like by the 15-minute. So I can look at my day and I can say, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing and for how long. And then this part of my day is going to be dedicated to doing things at home, to making dinner, to going out, to doing something for myself. And I can't thank you enough for really reminding us that it's not as scary as we might think, creating a date night for ourselves to meet someone new, or to create a date night in our current relationship to make sure that we are giving each other that time to focus on one another and not just be so consumed with, responsibilities of our larger family or the responsibilities of our professional lives, but that we are giving ourselves the grace and the opportunity to, really expand on our personal lives as well. Any final thoughts for us, Jessica, as we are about to close the program for today?
So I know that was something that was mentioned, as far as if you do have like someone, like a relationship already. Yes, definitely date night. Because I know, like I've had where they tell me, oh, but my kids, or I don't have time. I'm like, at least once a month or every two, I mean, something, jotting it down. And also, deciding whether, like you were saying, like whether you still want to continue with that relationship or not. That's something, a decision you make. You have that choice whether or not. Yes, if you do decide that, no, this relationship is not working for me, yes, of course it's going to hurt. It's going to, you'll need time to heal and things like that. But it's also not giving up. because yes, it'll affect you because of course you had emotions, you had feelings and all of those things. But again, you need to do what's best for you, what you think is something that you want. And also, I also believe in self-reflection, like making time for you to think of the things, okay, these are things I've done, these are things I've accomplished, what I need to do for me, to help me, feel better, to me, to have that confidence in myself, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So I also believe in that too, having time to think about those things too.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jessica. This was I'm so glad that we got to meet and that we got to talk with you here on the International Women in Business Mastermind. This program has been going strong for about a good 5 years now, and we have been receiving so much interest in speakers to participate in the program that we are now hosting, the International Women in Business Mastermind, or the IWB Mastermind, twice a month. So if you are interested as someone who's catching one of our shows to be one of our guest speakers and come on and to share your expertise, to share your knowledge and your experience in a program that is about an hour long to the various audiences that we are able to connect with here, please certainly reach out. You can always reach me at Vihil, VIHIL, at women'sempowermentcoach.us. And then, of course, you can find us online at women'sempowermentcoach.us and at www.magistra.us, where you will also find information about our power luncheons, which our next one is going to be coming up. It will be virtual on October 14th. That's going to be very exciting. And then in addition to, of course, our publications, Magistra Magazine, our new Bas Latinas, the anthology that we just published out in August, which is very exciting as well. So for those of you who are catching our program today, definitely put your comments here and I will make sure that Jessica has an opportunity to answer any of them. If you are catching the replay of this program, still put your notes down there, still put your comments down there so I can make sure to reach out to you and connect you with Jessica. Follow her online, Instagram at Latina Relationship Coach, Facebook, Latina Relationship Coach, and of course online at www.latinarelationshipcoach. Thank you so very much, Jessica. It was so great to meet with you. I look forward to connecting further, and you'll be able to catch, for any of you interested in all of the IWB Mastermind programs that we have recently been recording, have been placed over on our new YouTube channel for the Empowerment Empire. So we will be downloading this program and sharing it over to that YouTube channel, and I'll share that later on today as well. So I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic week. It is Magnificent Monday. We are starting off talking about how we can really allow ourselves the grace and the beauty of wonderful relationships, not only with our colleagues as business owners and entrepreneurs, but with our families and as well as for ourselves, whether that's in a new relationship or, really taking the time to ensure that we're giving the time to our current relationships. This was a wonderful conversation on that, featuring Jessica Ruiz, the Latina relationship coach. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone, and we'll see you again back on here very soon. I'm your host, VihilH.Vigil, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.